So derivative is in financial instrument whose value depends on, or in other words derives from the value of other more basic underlying variables. Underlying variables can be equity shares, bonds, commodities, currencies, or indices. Right? Any index can also be taken as an underlying asset. Based on this underlying asset, the value of the derivative instrument, derivative is also a financial instrument, that value will differ. Right? So that is that. So derivative can be of option, futures, forward, futures, options, and bond options and swaps. Right? So forward contract is personally between two parties to make a contract to be traded, to be transacted on a future date for a certain price that will be decided today itself. Right? Between the two parties to buy or sell an asset at a certain future time on a certain future date for a certain price. Right? That price is decided now itself, determined now itself. That is being called as forward contract. Right? So, for example, we take them. Mr. X is exporting, an Indian exporter. He is exporting some garments worth of $10,000 to American buyer. American buyer is buying that, but you will be paying today. The contract is the export is done today, 16th October. On 16th, he will take 2 months time. American buyer will take 2 months time to make the settlement. $10,000 he will pay after 2 months only. So 16th December, Mr. X will receive the payment of $10,000 from the American buyer. Right? Today's exchange rate is 73 rupees. So on the 16th December or exchange rate, no one knows that. And Mr. X doesn't know that. He can predict certain amount, but that may be true or may not be true. So what happens on future date? What is the price? What is the exchange date? That he may not be knowing that. And he predicts that suppose it becomes, he fears that it may become 68 rupees. Right? So he'll be losing 5 rupees per every dollar. $10,000 means 50,000 rupees. He'll be losing this. So he has the fear. Because of this fear, what Mr. X is doing, he goes to Canara Bank and he make a contract with the Canara Bank, and he says that on 16th December I will give you $10,000. You pay me per every dollar. You pay me 73 rupees. That is the today's 16th October exchange rate. Today's exchange rate, right? So on 16th December I will give you $10,000. You pay me per dollar 73 rupees. So 732,000 rupees. You pay me that. If Canara Bank says okay, right, the contract is created. This contract is being called as forward contract. It is personally between two parties, right? No third parties involved, no exchange is involved, no government parties involved, right? It is personally between the two parties. So the advantages of this contract is being called as forward contract. The advantage of this contract is the advantage of this contract is customization. That is advantage. Customization in the sense the quantity can be 10,000, or it can be, suppose the invoice amount is $12,125. The same amount they can make the contract, right? That is the advantage of forward contract. Customization. The terms and conditions, the features of the contract, where the parties can decide it. The two parties involved, no government parties involved, no third parties involved. The two parties involved, so they can decide the features. How much is the quantity? How much is the quantum of the contract? That they themselves can decide, right? No dictation is coming from some third party, right? So this is being called as forward contract. The disadvantage is the drawback of this forward contract is personally it is created, so there is no guarantee that the party will honor the contract. There is no guarantee that, right? So suppose the rate is made. The same example, Mr. X has made a contract with Canara Bank that on 16th December I will give you $10,000. You pay me something like 30,000 rupees, right? Suppose on the day on 16th December, the real rate, the spot rate in the foreign currency market, the rate has become, the spot rate is $1 equal to 78 rupees, right? $1 equal to 78 rupees. So what Mr. S has to get, if he goes to foreign currency market and gives this $10,000, he'll be getting something like 80,000 rupees. But he has already made a forward contract with Canara Bank for 73 rupees, right? You'll be losing 50,000 rupees. Because of this forward contract is created. This forward contract is created to safeguard his payment. This forward contract is created. He feared that on 16th October he made the exports, right? That day exchange rate was 73 rupees, and he feared that when he receives his $10,000 from American buyer, the exchange rate may become 68 rupees, so he'll be losing 50,000 rupees. So he created the contract with Canara Bank, telling that on the 16th December I will give you $10,000. Canara Bank will you will pay me 73 rupees per hour. 32 rupees you settle me. But Canara Bank that day, he feared that it will be the real rate, spot rate that day will be 68 rupees. But in reality, on 16 December, on reality, the spot rate has become 78 rupees, right? Because of this forward contract is created, he cannot sell this $10,000 for 78 rupees. He has to sell to Canara Bank $10,000 at the rate of 73 rupees only. He will be losing 50,000 rupees. So what will happen? He may avoid this contract. He will not go to Canara Bank. He will go to foreign currency market. He will sell this $10,000 for 78, some like 80,000 rupees. He will enjoy this 50,000 rupees. He will not exercise this contract, right? That problem is there. The drawback is there. That is being called a settlement risk or counterparty risk or default risk. That is there in forward contract. That is the drawback of forward contract. So customization is advantage of forward contract. Settlement risk or counterparty risk or default risk or credit risk, there is a drawback in forward contract, right? So how to overcome this drawback? The another derivative contract is option for that. It's a solution for that. That contract is being called as futures contract. So what happens? On 16th October, the same Mr. X, he has made an export for $10,000 worth of garments. He has exported to American buyer. American buyer telling that after 2 months, 16th December, I will give you $10,000, right? So, and he has today's exchange rate is 73 rupees, same situation. And if Mr. X pays that, it will go to 68 rupees on 16th December, when really the American buyer giving the payment, right? By that time, the exchange rate will become 68 rupees. So, I will be losing 50,000 rupees in my Indian rupees, right? So, I want to solve this problem. So what I do is, Mr. Yes will go to your broker and says that he is ready to sell $10,000 at the rate of 73 rupees, right? On 16 December. On Mr. Then his broker, Mr. X broker, to whom they approach, Mr. X approach, the broker will see all the already existing deals in the trading platform. 1,001 quantities available. $1,000 is ready to be bought by someone, by some broker, at the rate of 73 rupees or 72 rupees, 75 paise, or 78 paise, 80 paise, 90 paise. Like this, some terms are there. 73 rupees is there, right? So he has to sell $10,000. There is a contract for $1,000 to be bought at 73 rupees on December. In futures contract, it will not be settlement. Exact date will not be mentioned. It will be mentioned in the month only. Will be mentioned during the month. At any time, it can be settled. No problem, right? So December futures contract is available. $1,000 is ready to be bought at the rate of 73 rupees. It is mentioned. So broker will buy 10 contracts in this. $10,000 is his expectation. He wants to sell $10,000 at the rate of 73 rupees. Mr. X, right? And Mr. X broker will buy this $1,000 contract. 10 contracts he'll buy them. So total is $10,000, right? So on 16 December, this is being called as futures contract, right? Here middleman is involved, exchange is involved in this. Through exchange they are doing this. So this is being called a futures contract. The features of the futures contract is standardized features of the contract. That is the feature of the futures contract. Standardized features. These $1,000 at this rate, these are available. Maturity date is December month, right? These are available. These are standardized features of exchange mentioned features, right? Standardized features that cannot be modified, right? Ready-made features are available. Ready-made contracts are available. That should be bought by the buyer. No customization is possible here. Standardization is the feature of futures contract. Customization is the feature of forward contract. All right. So standard contracts are available. 10 contracts he has bought. And one more advantage is that counterparty risk, credit risk will not arise here. Here the parties as written in this PowerPoint slide, as the two parties to contract don't necessarily know each other, the exchange also provides a mechanism that gives the two parties a guarantee that the contract will be honored. How it gives a mechanism? Daily settlement mechanism it gives it. Daily settlement mechanism in the sense, two parties will be asked to deposit certain amount in their bank account, savings account, right? In the bank account, they will be asked to deposit certain amount. That amount is because of initial margin, right? Initial margin will be settled, will be deposited in the bank account, right? Suppose next day, at the end of the day, the situation is favorable to the buyer of the contract, favorable to Mr. Buyer of the contract, right? And the buyer of the contract buyer's account will be credited. The same amount will be debited in the seller's account. So if it is not favorable to the buyer of the contract, buyer's account will be debited, seller's account, the same amount will be credited in the seller's account. Like that, it will be debited, credit, like that, it will happen, right? Suppose only debiting happens, it's not favorable to the buyer's account. So buyer's account is completely debited. Every day it is debited. And it comes to a minimum balance. That balance is being called as maintenance margin. It is also dictated by exchange. Says that this is a maintenance margin. Once the balance reaches the maintenance margin, immediately the party, the buyer, will be asked by the exchange to deposit amount which is equivalent to the difference between maintenance margin and initial margin. That amount should be deposited, so the balance will be rolled back to initial margin from maintenance margin. The difference amount will be credited by the buyer, and so in his account, so the balance will become from maintenance margin to, it will go to initial margin. The difference amount will be settled. So this is happening. This kind of daily settlement happens in futures contract. Daily settlement is taken here by exchange, right? Daily settlement happens, so there is no chance of counterparty risk in the futures contract, right? There is advantage in futures contract. It's not like forward contract. So daily settlement happens. Daily settlement mechanism happens, which ensures that parties will not default in the execution, in the honoring of the contract. They will not default in that, right? So that is being called as futures contract. So first type of derivative contract is forward contract. Second type of derivative contract is future. Forward contract is personally between two parties. So customization is possible. It is done through an exchange. So exchange dictates the terms and conditions. Exchange dictates the features of the contract. So standardization is a feature of the futures contract. Customization is the features of the forward contract. Topic is credited default risk. Here the settlement happens every day. Exchange takes care of the settlement. So there's no probability of credit risk or counterparty risk, right? Counterparty defaulting from the execution, that is not possible, right? Third type is option contract. Options contract, right? So the option contract is, we'll go to our same example, right? So Mr. X predicts that after 2 months only, Mr. X will be getting the payment from the American buyer, $10,000. He will be receiving that. So he makes a contact to the Canara Bank. He tells that on 16 December, I will give $10,000. You pay me 73 rupees, right? So total 730,000 rupees you settle me, right? On 16 December, I will hand out $10,000. You hand out 730,000 rupees. Suppose we assume, because Mr. X predicted that, he predicted that the exchange rate may become on 16 December, it may become 68 rupees. So he will be getting, suppose he is not making this contract, derivative contract, he will be getting only 6,80,000 in his hand instead of 7,30,000 rupees as he originally planned. 50,000 rupees he will be losing. So he wants to save his payment. So he goes to the bank and opposes and makes a contract for 73 rupees. So he will be happy with us. Anyhow, he's going to get 7,30,000 rupees. On 16 December, buyer will give him $10,000. He can exchange this $10,000 with the Canara Bank at the rate of 73. So he will be getting 7,30,000 rupees. Mr. X will be getting that. Suppose he has a fear that the real exchange rate will become 68 rupees, right? Suppose that day, the spot market, the foreign currency market, the spot rate, that day exchange rate has become 78 rupees. He predicted and feared that it will go to 68 rupees. That's why he made a contract for 73 rupees. But contrary to his prediction, it has become 78 rupees in the foreign currency market. Spot exchange rate has become 73 rupees. Exchange rate has become 78 rupees, right? But he has made the contract with the party for 73 rupees. So anyway, he had to forward contract. He has to exit the forward contract, and he will go into the Canara Bank and give these $10,000. He will get this 30,000 rupees. If he hasn't made this forward contract, what he could have gone to foreign exchange market, foreign currency market. He could have handed over this $10,000. He could have got something like 80,000 rupees. Since this forward contract is created, he will be getting something like 30,000 rupees only, right? So the traders in the derivative markets are thinking about that there should be a mechanism in which I'll make a contract predicting something. If my prediction goes wrong, I must be able to quit from this contract. That was their plan, right? They need a contract for that. That contract is being called as options contract, right? So what Mr. X will do, Mr. X will go to Canara Bank, will tell that I will give you $10,000 on 16 December. You give me 73 rupees per dollar. So 730,000 rupees you give me. This is option contract, right? Options contract. We will create an option contract, right? So $10,000 I will give you. You give me 73 rupees per dollar. Okay, I am ready to write the contract. Mr. Canara Bank says I will be the seller. You will be the buyer. No problem. And so Mr. Canara Bank writes that I am ready to buy from. I am ready to buy $10,000 at the rate of 73 rupees, right? And Mr. X buys this contract, right? Suppose that day exit rate has become 78 rupees. He feared that it will go to 68 rupees, but contrary to his prediction, it has gone to 78 rupees. Mr. X will omit this contract, will quit this contract, will neglect this contract, will go to foreign exchange currency market and he hand over his $10,000, he will get this sound like 80,000 rupees, right? Since it is an option contract, forward contract he cannot escape from the execution is mandatory. An option contract execution is optional. That's why the name says that it is option contract. Execution is optional. It is full advantage for Mr. X. So what is the advantage for Canara Bank? The advantage for Canara Bank is buyer of the option contract has a privilege of executing or not executing. The privilege is with the buyer. So the buyer of the option contract has to pay certain amount to the seller of the option contract. That amount is being called as option price or option fee or option premium, right? Well, all are same. A buyer of the option contract has to pay certain price to the seller of the option contract. Got it? So in this same example, Mr. X will say this: I'll buy that. The option price is one rupee per dollar, right? So Mr. X, Canara Bank has written it is willing to buy $10,000 at the rate of 73 rupees on 16 December 2000. This 1 rupee per dollar. So Mr. X buys this. Okay, I'm ready to sell $10,000 at the rate of 73. I'm ready to sell $10,000 at the rate of 73 rupees. Okay, and I'm ready to buy, and the option price is 1 rupee per dollar. Whether Mr. X exercises the option market, suppose that market for option this $10,000 bank. Again, suppose as per his prediction has happened, real estate rate is 68 rupees only. So he wants to exit the contract. He can exit the contract, he will be getting 30,000 rupees. Still, he has to pay 10,000. Option mandatory to be paid by the buyer of the option contract to the seller of the option, right? So he will be getting 30,000 rupees. He has to pay 10,000 rupees. In other words, Canara Bank will give him take the $10,000 rupees price, and he will pay the remaining 20,000 rupees to Mr. X, right? After collecting $10,000 from him, it will pay 20,000 rupees only. 10,000 rupees is the option price, right? It will take it. So so Mr. X will get 20,000 rupees, right? So option seller of the option contract will have the advantage of option price. Buyer of the option contract will have the advantage of the privilege, whether to exercise or not to exercise. The privilege is with the buyer of the option contract, right? Seller of the option contract, that is, he will be getting option price or he will receive option price or option fee or option premium. All are same, right? This is the advantage of options contract, right? Option contract there are different types of option contract. Major type is call option, put option. Call option is buying the underlying asset. Put option is selling the underlying asset, right? So call option is buying the underlying asset. Sell option is put option is selling the underlying asset, right? So this is being called as option contract. So finally, it is swaps. It is entirely different from what we have seen so far. So forward future option that we have seen that is entirely different from that. Swaps is a different. Swap is an agreement between two companies to exchange the cash flows in the future. Swap means exchange. So exchange the cash flows in the future is swap, right? It may be interest rate swap or currency swap, right? Swap may be interest rate swap or currency swap. Interest rate swap in the sense one businessman is there, Mr. X. He wants to expand his business, right? But he is willing to pay the interest. He wants to expand his business. He wants to raise some amount, right? But he is willing to pay fixed interest rate, right? So for the fund, suppose 10 lakh rupees he is rising in the market, in the capital market, he is willing to pay fixed interest rate. Yeah, the interest rate based on the market interest rate, no problem. But fixed, he doesn't want floating interest rate. Flexible interest rate, he doesn't want. He wants fixed interest rate, right? But the lender is willing to give 10 lakh rupees and he wants floating interest rate, right? So, but he is interested in fixed interest rate, but he is getting the money for floating interest rate. One Mr. Y is there. He wants floating interest rate to be paid. He also needs the same 10 lakh rupees for some other business purpose, but he wants to pay only floating interest rate, but he is getting the option from the lender fixed interest rate, right? So both the parties will meet a swap bank, right? Any financial institution which are involved in interest rate swap or currency swap, they call it swap bank, right? So swap bank, what it will do? Okay, it will ask the Mr. X to raise a fund by paying by accepting to pay floating interest rate, no problem. It will ask Mr. Y to get the money from the lender, accept that you will pay fixed interest rate. Yeah. Swap Bank will ask Mr. X, Mr. Y. They both will, after receiving that, they will be giving to Swap Bank. Swap Bank will exchange the fund, right? So fixed interest rate, you are coming from floating interest rate, you have to pay. Mr. X has to pay. That will be paid by Mr. Y. Fixed interest rate, Mr. Y has to pay. That will be paid by Mr. X. Because Mr. X is interested to pay fixed interest rate only, but he is getting the option for the lender floating interest rate. Mr. Y is willing to pay floating interest rate only, but he is getting the option for the lender fixed interest rate. So both the interest rate will be swapped. This is being called as interest rate swap, right? This is completely in detail explained in my separate video about interest rate swap, right? Then another type of swap is currency swap. Currency swap involves different currencies are swapped, exchange. How it is? One Indian company wants to expand its business in America. At the same time, American company wants to expand its business in India. The situation is like this, right? One Indian company wants to enter American market in a particular city. Then they want to expand their business. They want to expand their business. So they need 1 million American dollar. Indian company needs 1 million American dollar. American company, they want to start their business in India. They want to expand their operations in India, right? And so they need 60 million Indian rupees. Extended, you assume the 1 million, $1 equal to 60 rupees. So Indian company wants to raise 1 million American dollar. American company needs 60 million Indian rupees. Okay. So if Indian company goes to American bank, Indian company can do two ways. Can raise this $1 million in two ways. They can go to American bank and raise $1 million directly from American bank. But the drawback is they will be charged more interest rate. It is normally 5 to 6%. 6% interest rate is charged to American companies. But Indian company is a foreign company goes to American banks and raise the funds. American banks will charge Indian company 12% interest rate, right? So like this, Indian banks will charge Indian companies 8% interest rate. If American company coming to India and asking the fund, they will be charged 16%, now 15% interest rate. More interest rate will be charged for the foreign companies. Credit risk is that they may not default that the Indian banks may not be knowing anything about that American company, so they will charge more interest rate. Since they are taking the risk, so they will charge more interest rate. Otherwise, Indian company you can do, instead of going to American bank, they can collect the fund from the Indian bank at a cheaper interest rate, no problem. Then they can convert this, exchange this Indian rupee into American dollar. They can invest in America, right? But the drawback is exchange rate is involved. And initially they had to invest in American dollar, 1 million American dollar. They had to invest this, right? They can raise 60 million Indian rupees and they convert it to 1 million American dollar. They can invest this. Today, exchange rate they may be knowing that, no problem. After 1 year, they have to pay the interest to the Indian banks. They have to pay in Indian rupee. Whereas their operations in America will give them American dollars only. This American dollar will be exchanged into Indian rupees. Then only Indian interest can be paid. Indian banks interest can be paid, right? So every year the exchange rate problem will come to them. So if they go to American banks, Indian company goes to American bank, American banks will charge more interest rate. If it raises the funds in Indian banks, exchange rate fluctuations will be a big headache for the Indian company, right? Whenever interest rate is paid, exchange rate is involved. So exchange rate is abnormal. They will be losing so much amount in that, right? So Indian company has the panic, it has the fear. So what they will do, they will approach the swap bank. Indian company will also approach the swap bank. American company will also approach the swap bank. Swap bank will say that American company you raise a fund in American dollar from your American bank at a cheaper interest rate. Indian company you raise from Indian banks in Indian rupee at a cheaper interest rate. So Indian company will raise 60 million Indian rupees from the Indian banks. American company will raise 1 million American dollar for the American bank at cheaper interest rate, right? Swap bank will collect the American 1 million American dollar for the American company will give to Indian company. Indian company needs $1 million, right? Yeah, Swap bank will collect this 60 million Indian rupees from Indian company, which is raised from Indian banks. Will hand over this 60 million Indian rupees to the American company. American company also needs 60 million Indian rupees only. Got it. So whenever the interest is to be paid, American company has raised $1 million from the American banks. They have to pay 5% interest per annum. This 5% interest amount will be settled, will be paid to the swap bank by the Indian company. Swap bank will hand over to the American company. American company will settle the American bank. Like that, for the 60 million rupees, 8% interest rate that has to be paid by the American company to the swap bank. Swap bank will hand over this interest amount to the Indian company. Indian company will settle the Indian bank. Right? This mechanism is being called as currency swaps. This is also fantastic mechanism happening in the market when two different countries, two companies belonging to different regions, where the regions involve different currencies, they go for this currency swap, right? To solve this problem of higher interest rate and exchange rate risk, right? So they do this. Okay, these are the types of derivatives contract: forward, future, option, swap. Right? Thank you all.